Olá, boa noite, sejam bem-vindos a mais um espaço de entrevista aqui na FPTV. A desinformação e a má informação espalham-se rapidamente nas redes sociais e podem influenciar a opinião pública. Para nos ajudar a compreender melhor este fenómeno e esclarecer algumas afirmações que circulam online, falamos agora com Julie Dzerowicz, membro do Parlamento Federal de Davenport. Hi Julie, welcome to FPTV again.
Olá, boa noite. É um prazer estar aqui com vocês.
Happy New Year.
Yes, feliz ano novo.
Very well, very well. So we're going to talk about misinformation and disinformation. In the simple words for our viewers to understand, what's the difference between them?
That's such a great question. So, because people often think it's the same word, it's not. Misinformation with the M, it's when you have information and you're passing it to someone else, but you don't know it's untrue. You don't know it's untrue, okay? So, and then disinformation is I'm deliberately telling you something that I know is not true, okay? So, you know, someone might come to you and say, look, your taxes are gonna go up because they know you're gonna get really upset about it. That's completely not true. Misinformation might be like, oh, I heard that there's going to be, a new budget at the federal level that's going to be this Saturday. I heard from a friend of mine. Well, there's no budget, you know what I mean? But they're not intending to give you bad information. The misinformation, disinformation is just simply they deliberately are telling. So it's another way of saying a lie. They're deliberately telling you a lie.
Okay. So there's a claim that Canada, for example, is giving billions or millions of dollars to Ukraine, and they are ignoring the seniors and the veterans and the homeless people. Is this true? Not true?
You know, thank you for asking, because I'm hearing that too as well. So look, the Canadian government is giving. We've given about $22 billion to Ukraine. And it's because Russia, big country, decides they're going to invade Ukraine and take over a small country. So what we are doing as Canada and many other countries around the world is we're helping Ukraine to defend its own democracy. So there's two things I need everybody to know. There's no less senior money going to seniors because we are giving money to Ukraine, and there's no less money that we're actually giving to homeless because we're putting money in Ukraine. But if we as a country, a democracy, isn't helping to defend Ukraine against Russia, then we will become at risk in terms of our own democracy. So it's very important that we help Ukraine to win.
Okay. We're talking about what's going on the world. We have to talk about Trump, right? So some people say, or some posts even online saying that Trump is going to invade Canada because he's saying a lot of things about other countries. Is there any real plan behind this? Is this false information? What's going on?
Yeah, it's a really great question. So I don't know if you've noticed, but beginning of 2025, he kept on calling Canada the 51st state, right?
Yes.
Lately, he stopped saying that, right? He's now very focused on Venezuela. He's very focused on Greenland. So just to let you know, it's very important for people to know, because in the old days, people like me and you, we used to read newspapers every day, newspapers, or we watch TV shows. Anybody put out a newspaper, the publisher or the editor, the person in charge of the newspaper is responsible for all the information in the newspaper. But on the internet, it's the Wild West. There's nobody in charge. There's no regulation, so no laws that make sure that whatever's put online has to be true. So right now, a lot of the information online is just not true. It's just not true, okay? So people need to know that. We as a population has to do a better job of figuring out what's true and what's not true. And I'll have some tips about how we do that. But in terms of Trump trying to take over Canada, look, most of the world still believes in what we call international rules-based order. That means doesn't matter how big or how small we are, as a country, we have the same rules and we follow the same rules, and we are not allowed as a big country to take over a small country. And again, so do we believe that President Trump wants to take us over? No. Does he want us to become part of America? Yes.
Yeah.
But we've told him, and for those that might have seen it, our Prime Minister, Carney, went to Washington and very clearly in the White House told President Trump, we will never, ever become part of the United States. We are an independent nation, and we will remain an independent nation.
So that is settled.
And that is settled.
So how can people verify the information? You said you have some tips?
We do. So just, as a federal government, I do believe we have an obligation to protect our population. and we need to do a lot more to help Canadians figure out what's the truth and what's not the truth. So not just our kids, which is very important
Especially
for them to know.
now with the AI videos and AI photos,
Yes.
it's even more difficult, right?
Yes. So first I'll give the 2 tips and then I want to talk about AI because that's very specific and an excellent point. So in terms of tips, it's very important for people when they're reading stuff, whether online, to say, is this from a credible source? So I think that a lot of people know what the credible sources are that have been around, that's been around in Canada, that people know, okay? So 1 is check to see if it's credible source. 2, check if there's multiple credible sources saying the same thing. Then on the balance of probabilities, it's probably true. Okay. On AI, it's very important for people to know. It is very easy to take a picture of you online or a picture of me online, put it on someone's body and say that it's me or you.
Yeah.
It's also very easy to take your face or my face.
Even the voice.
Put it on a video and make it that we're saying something that we're not saying or
True.
we don't believe it, okay? So right now, our government, and it's not just the Canadian government, but all governments around the world, we're working very fast to figure out how do we put laws into place, okay? So that we can make sure that if people, like there's rules around any images, that they cannot be using yours or my images unless they have our permission, and so that there's far more oversight online around these images. But in the meantime, it's the Wild West, and people have to be very careful about believing many of the images or videos that they see online.
Thank you for being here with us. It's all the time we have for today. I hope you see you next time and pretty soon. And thanks for clarifying this things to our viewers.
Well, we have more to discuss. Muito obrigada.
Thank you. Numa era em que a informação circula rapidamente, é essencial que se questionem relativamente ao que veem nas redes sociais, confirmem as fontes, como disse a Julie, e não partilhem conteúdos duvidosos.